Hi guys, in this episode of the Nostalgia Trip, I'm gonna be continuing with my reactions to Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Currently we are on Season 1, Episode 4B, Down with the Sickness. And while last episode wasn't like the best episode or whatever, it definitely was one of the more enjoyable ones of this show. And visually it was actually pretty fucking cool, so there's that. But to be honest, this show is always so flipping cool visually, so that's one thing that I feel like it nails. And this just goes to show that regardless of the plot of a TMNT, a cartoon, or a show, or anything for that matter, regardless of the plot, visually, I just like hand-drawn more than CGI. Because I assume most of you guys have watched my reactions to the TMNT 2012 series, and you know how much I've decried the fact that it's a CGI series. By the end of it, I grew to love it, especially in Season 5, where the animation was like really fucking good. But nothing really beats a hand-drawn one for me. It just always looks so much more engaging and fun to look at for me. Although, again, I don't necessarily hate CGI stuff, I just enjoy hand-drawn stuff more. Yeah, I'm hoping that this is going to be another fun episode. Whether it's going to be the case, there's only one way to find out. But before we get into the reaction, I do want to remind you that you can get a full-length version of this reaction over on my Patreon or Ko-fi account, where by subscribing at the specific tier I've created for it, you get access to all of my cartoon full-length reactions. If you want to get access to all of my full-length reactions, which includes the live-action TV series and the movies that I react to, you gotta go at a higher tier because those reactions require more time and effort to produce, so it only feels right for them to cost more. Although it is kind of like at a bit of a discount when you think about it, because you get access to all of the cartoon reactions. So essentially, the movies and the live-action TV series kind of cost $1 less when you think about it. But yeah, I don't know. Go for whichever tier you are interested in, or maybe just stick with the YouTube reactions. That's also an option. And yeah, enough with just chit chat. Without further ado, let's get into Down with the Sickness in 3, 2, 1.
Play now. Have I ever told you how big and beautiful you are?
But thank you. He is about to set a new high score. I can't watch, but I can.
Man, look at those moves from Raph. Also, Splinter, you're not looking really good. You already look very creepy and we haven't even seen your face. Although I've seen the thumbnail of this episode, so I already know how creepy it looks. Roll credits.
Do I look terrible? Be honest.
A little.
You look great. Not hardly so.
Man, this show, now I realize what it kind of reminds me of a little bit. There's this really fucking weird and interesting cartoon called Jimmy the Two Shoes, or something along those lines. And it was such a weird and kind of refreshingly interesting cartoon that I watched in like 2009 or something. Might react to it at some point on the channel, but it was a really cool one, and I feel like the tone of this show kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Uranium. Oh, we should absolutely ask for uranium. I mean, if I could finally get my hands on a little of that, we would be virtually.
What the hell?
What about a brick oven for pizza?
Who's gonna claim that? What we should have.
Dude, that reminds me of that short from the 2012 series with like the Teenage Mecha Ninja Turtles shit. I still want a series of that, man.
I told you guys to plan ahead. Now I'm sitting here all toasty. What? Why?
Okay, I guess that's the image that I saw in the thumbnail. Jesus fucking Christ, no.
Okay, this should hold him for a while. And you're sure this isn't cruel?
He loves pizza in confined spaces you can barely breathe in.
Daddy, is it gonna hold up?
Man, it's so annoying how neither this show nor the 1987 TMNT, which I'm reacting to concurrently, neither of them really nails all sides of the TMNT like the 2012 and the 2003 series do. Because like this series looks visually amazing, and the jokes are funny.
Mike, you smell him?
but the plots of the 87 series are kind of a little bit more interesting, I guess, or at least feel more like plots that would be in a TMNT cartoon. Because, like, what are the plots of this show? It's just random, stupid bullshittery, you know?
What? Heat's on Stu? He's on you. He's on me? Yes.
Okay, that's creepy.
Why weren't you in your suit?
Leo, no one forced you to, Donnie.
Ugh, that smell. I love
Oh no, he's inside! What the fuck?
I'm your least favorite. Leo's infected. Quarantine him.
Hey, you need me to get to the must-say-yes stage. We need to ask for the onesies. Whoa, it is really hot. Is there a fire? There's a fire here.
Oh no, he's sick. Oh no, he's sick with COVID.
you hit.
No, I'm fine. I just cut myself on that janky old door. Everything's okay. Raph, did you decide what we're gonna ask for?
Yeah, I got it. I'm gonna ask for. What?
Is that stage 5?
Stage 5.
Yes.
Karaoke love songs.
I can't feel my ears. Nothing is worth this.
We're so close. Only 2 stages left.
And 3 totally healthy turtles left. Man, why is it so hot in here?
R.I.P. Donnie.
Best display. I know you'll say yes to whatever I ask for. I want you to give.
No!
Everybody loves hot.
What? No! Anything but that!
No! So that was the episode. Okay, this is the epitome of why I didn't want to react to Rise of the TMNT until recently. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm still gonna go and check it out. I know that there's some cool stuff later on, and I also want to check out the movie for sure, which was released or will be released recently. I'm not exactly sure, I haven't really kept up with that information. But I just want to be aware at this point of everything, and like I said in the first episode, the reason why I'm doing this is so my channel can earn some more revenue right now until I get to another series, which I think is going to be very popular on my channel to react to, which is Ben 10. But yeah, not necessarily a bad episode. Like, it's funny, it's decently entertaining, it's just that I want plot, not just random shit. Like, for crying out loud, even shows like Regular Show and fucking Gumball, which are show with random bullshit happening all the time, still manage to have more of a plot. And this is just what? Random bullshittery. It's like this kind of stupid shit that is happening in this episode reminds me of one of those cartoons without consequences, like the Woody Woodpecker or whatever. It's like, I remember in Saturday mornings, like 10 years ago when I was like 8, or 10 years old, like around that time in my life, I would wake up and I would watch cartoons, and those kind of cartoons were the first one up. Like, well, the Woody Woodpecker, or I mean, that's the one that I kind of associate with that, with those mornings, or something like the fucking Pink Panther or whatever. Those were the kind of cartoons which had no consequences from episode to episodes, and their episodes were like 10 minutes long or whatever. And I just don't think TMNT fits that. Like, why would you do an inherently action-based show as a silly slapstick cartoon? I just don't get that. And like, in some of the other episodes we got more of a fight, so I guess that's why I was more okay with it. Whereas in this one we didn't get a single fight or whatever. It was just slapstick comedy all the time. And that's kind of why I hate the modern cartoon. Because all modern cartoons are like this, like Teen Titans Go, Thundercats Roar. Like, why would you do these inherently action-based shows like dumb comedies? I just don't get it. I've watched videos on YouTube who explain that and why the action cartoons died out. But then if it dies out, don't bring back the franchise and bastardize it like this. And again, I'm being a little bit too hard on this show right now because I'm saying that it's bastardized, whereas I think there's parts of it that are enjoyable and I'm enjoying it. And the action, when there is action, is good. It's just that the point that I'm trying to make here is that I don't think you should turn an action cartoon into a comedy cartoon. If you're not gonna make it an action cartoon, don't bring it back at all. I'd rather that than bring it back and fucking ruin it. Because Teen Titans Go is fucking dumb and garbage, and I want it to burn in hell. And I don't care what anybody says about it, and how smart it is, and how self-aware about how bad it is. I don't care. I don't want that cartoon to exist. Thundercats Roar can fucking die in hell and in a fire and get destroyed completely. That one is even fucking worse. Because I'm pretty sure it literally fucking mocked the 2011 series, which got unfairly fucking cancelled, and it was the best version of fucking Thundercats ever. And then there's this show, which at least doesn't fucking mock the other incarnations, as far as I'm fucking aware. So there's that. But yeah, I just hate this current situation in cartoons where action cartoons are dead. And the only action cartoons that I can think of right now, literally, are only the ones aimed at adults. Like Young Justice, which is now more mature, but it's also kind of less interesting because it's just boring most of the time because you can't fucking fit adult level story into 30 episodes. But honestly, that's a topic for a video, specifically in regards to Young Justice, which might happen whenever I sit down and react to it, because it is, I guess, on my radar a little bit. And the other one being Invincible. I honestly think that's why I enjoy Invincible so much. Because it feels like all these old school action cartoons that we all used to love like 10 years ago or whatever, that are basically non-existent. I want more of that shit. And honestly, that's why I'm reacting to so many nostalgic cartoons in this series on the channel instead of current ones. Because there are no current ones. At least I have a fucking giant-ass backlog of cool cartoons to react to. And then we also have a lot of live-action series that I could react to. And live-action TV series that are cool and movies that are cool. So we have content for decades, I feel like. But man, I want some more new good cartoons. And I know I got a little bit sidetracked, but that's just kind of because this episode prompted me to complain about modern cartoons again. And like I said, that's kind of why when I first heard about Rise of TMNT, I hated it. Because I don't think cartoons should be like this. Especially action-based ones. Like, I'm okay with cartoons like Gumball or Regular Show or Adventure Time being the way they are. Because they're not action cartoons. They're comedy cartoons where anything can happen, basically. And that's fine. That is fine. That is enjoyable. So if you're gonna do a cartoon, at least make it original like that. And don't take an existing franchise and bastardize it. Because that is just despicable and the laziest of them all. But yeah. I'm sorry, I got a little bit of a bit of a rant that I didn't mean to get to, but yeah, it was decent. It was okay, joke-wise, but yeah, I don't really care about this episode. It might be probably my least favorite because I feel like every other episode had a little bit of a fight, or at least had something that I really, really enjoyed about it, like in the case of the last one, which I don't think had a fight or a proper fight. Yeah. Hopefully we're gonna get into some more fun stuff in the next episode, but yeah, in terms of a rating for this one, I mean, if I have to look at it in an objective quality, it's not that bad. I still think it would be something like a 7.3 out of 10, but if I had to give it a more of a personal rating in consideration with everything that I've just said and complained about, it's probably something like a 5.7 out of 10, man, because I really fucking hate action cartoons being turned into this. Like, how did we fall so far? I don't get it. I just don't. And like, I've heard the argument that YouTube killed the action cartoons because kids didn't want to watch the action cartoons and went to YouTube instead. So to make up for the lost viewership, those cartoons had to aim for an even younger demographic or some shit. But then, why? Why didn't you just aim for an older demographic that can actually fucking spend the money on that shit? And allow it to spend money on the collectibles and everything. Why is that demographic the one that you need to fucking target? I just don't get it, you know? It's the same. I mean, I guess when you think about it, it's the same shit on YouTube, isn't it? It's all about being fucking ad friendly by appearing kind of family friendly and being able to be appealing to kids without necessarily aiming for kids or whatever. But I personally don't give a shit about that. That's why I swear the shit out of my mouth all the time, because I don't care. I don't care about that. I'm not gonna sell myself out for the money. At least not in a way where I feel like I'm genuinely selling myself out, because one can argue that me doing reaction to this is selling myself out, because I said I wasn't gonna do it, but now I'm doing it because I want to earn some more revenue for my channel. But the only reason why I want to earn revenue is because right now I'm doing this at a loss because of the laws in my country requiring me to start a business the second I start earning money, even if I have to spend more money to create the business and run the business than I would be making from the business. Yeah, I know, it's kind of fucked up. So it's not necessarily full-on sellout, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, what did you guys think about this episode? Comment your thoughts down below, let's have a discussion about it. And also, before we end this video, I just want to give a huge shout out to my currently 2 patrons on Patreon, Deadpool and August Dice. Thank you guys for your support, I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me that you have decided to support me, you have continued to support me in such a long time. Hope you continue to enjoy my content and continue to support me going forward. Thank you very much. And now, before we end this video, I just want to talk about something to you guys very quickly, which some of you may or may have not noticed before or know about me, that being the fact that I am trans. And yes, this may come as shocking to some of you because I don't really flaunt it that much on my channel, or at least I feel like I don't. Outside of like my K-pop reactions, which is where I feel like the most comfortable being myself like this. And yeah, I am in fact trans. I'm not necessarily full-on male to female, but I heavily want to transition to being pretty female. I do consider myself more non-binary though, or maybe gender fluid would be the best descriptor as well, because I do have occasional moments where I feel fine being like just a normal guy, but most of the time, like right now, I do feel very dysphoric. And that's why I'm asking you guys for any help that you can give me, because my situation right now, I don't really see any way outside of you guys' help. Because, and this is gonna be kept short and concise, I live with my parents. They're never going to accept me as a trans person. They just never will. And as a matter of fact, back when I started the YouTube channel, I was actually kind of slightly starting my transition back then, with like starting to grow out my hair. I even got to DIY HRT, but because my parents started noticing certain things, like my behavior had changed a lot and my clothes had changed a lot, I kind of had to stop doing that because they were constantly nagging me about cutting my hair and just started to kind of be threatening in a certain way, and felt like they were ashamed of me and everything, and that just kind of stress just tired me out to the point where I just gave up. But as dysphoria goes, it just doesn't go away, you know. I still feel like this, and in fact it's somewhat been intensifying again recently, so I just wanted to share this with you guys. And again, I would really appreciate any amount of support you can give me in regards to this, because I just don't see any way out of this. Because even if I moved out of my parents' house and got myself a job and everything, that's just not gonna work for long-term planning, because once I transition, it's like I probably will not be able to get myself a job, because my country is very transphobic. Nobody gives a shit about LGBT people at all. So there's not even much I can do even in terms of transitioning here. So yeah, I don't know. I just would appreciate any amount of support you can give me, be it monetarily or in any way otherwise. And this is not about boosting my channel or anything, or guilt-tripping you with my sob story. I just wanted to get this off my chest and make my subscribers aware of the situation that I am in, and that I would appreciate anything that you guys can help me out with. It would mean literally everything. Like, for example, a friend that I made after starting this YouTube channel, my good friend Yuri, has been helping me out a lot. And I genuinely might have not been here if it wasn't for him showing up and befriending me. So yeah, this just went a little bit longer than I intended, but I would just really appreciate anything you can support me with. That's kind of ultimately what I'm trying to say. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Also, check out the link in the description to my Twitter if you want to follow me over there, and to my Wattpad, where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos for my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you enjoy my stories or simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to my Patreon or to my Coffee account, where you can pledge the support and help get the channel going, help support me so I can keep writing stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways, like liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and especially sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. And I think it's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!